there is a story about Pastor Stephen Bohr on the internet, and we are going to talk about that story today.
Hi, ladies. Imagine your own ministry supporting pregnant mothers and get paid through insurance. Become a community perinatal doula. www.perinatal.academy.
There is a trend going on in the SDA church that I think needs to stop. Yes, let me repeat that. There is a trend going on in the church that I think that particular trend needs to stop. Now, let's look at something here. There is a report that some SDAs in Sweden invited Pastor Stephen Bohr to speak. And according to the report, the presidents, the secretary, like the leaders of the union in Sweden are trying to prevent Pastor Stephen Bohr from coming to Sweden. They are trying to stop him from coming. And what is their reason? What is the reason behind stopping Pastor Stephen Bohr? I'm going to share some of their concerns with you. But first of all, let me share with you where the story is published. The story is published on Fulcrum 7. Here is it. Sweden Union tries to prevent Stephen Bohr from speaking in Sweden, according to Fulcrum 7. And I just want to share with you the reason they gave. So here is it. It says, I'm talking about the highlighted part. They finally admitted that Bohr's commitment to biblical role distinctions between male and female and his position on righteousness justifies their opposition to him speaking, even when invited by committed members. The union leaders are trying to prevent Stephen Bohr because they think or they believe that Stephen Bohr has some kind of teachings that they don't like. Let me put it that way. They believe that Stephen Bohr has some teachings that they don't like. But it is not about teachings that they don't like. It is about what is in line with the Bible. You know, this is not the first time Stephen Bohr is being treated this way. Even in Potomac Conference, in other conferences, Stephen Bohr is not allowed to preach because of women's ordination, because of his belief concerning last generation theology, because of his belief concerning LGBT. So many conferences don't like him. I think this needs to stop because we are one church. If what a person is teaching does not conflict the Bible, why stop him from speaking? If somebody is teaching according to the word of God, according to the beliefs of the church, why prevent him from coming to speak? Is there any personal kind of something between the union and Pastor Stephen Bohr? Oh, God have mercy. So let me continue with the statement that was actually published on Fulcrum 7. Statement regarding the invitation of Stephen Bohr. And I want to take my time to read this particular statement. We are both saddened and disappointed by the spirit in all the statements our leadership has made concerning the invitation to Stephen Bohr as a speaker in Sweden. The leadership describes itself as the good side that safeguards openness, tolerance, trust, diversity, truth, love, and light, etc., and insinuates that the others stand for division, polarization, confusion, fear, manipulation, and power games. The leadership maligns and slanders Stephen Bohr, among other things, by saying that he bears bad fruits, has deviant teachings, and by insinuating that his ministry contributes to conflict and polarization. These are very serious accusations, and in the name of justice, they require an explanation. But so far, this has been refused, even though several people have requested it. Rayner has admittedly said that one example of Bohr's bad fruit is his reaction to the invitation. But surely we all understand that this cannot be the reason why he is not allowed to come. So what is his bad fruit, and what are his deviant teachings? Does Stephen Bohr say anything that deviates from our common faith and doctrine? Many of us have been richly blessed by his ministry, and there are not many theologians who are as knowledgeable about the Bible, the spirit of prophecy, and our church's faith, doctrine, and history. Stephen Bohr is one of our most highly respected theologians, and his presentations on YouTube have many followers. He is a highly appreciated speaker throughout the world, not least in South America, where he grew up, and he has also received a letter of recommendation from his home church. It is easy to say that one stands for openness, tolerance, love, diversity, truth, etc., but quite another matter to show it in action. We think of the son who said that he wanted to work in the vineyard but did not do so in action. Matthew 21, verse 28 through to 30. The leadership justifies its actions by referring to other unions and the division, rather than keeping to the issue at hand and doing what is right because it is right, regardless of what human institutions do. It is in fact not right to kick someone just because others do so, regardless of their position. We are all accountable to God for our actions, not to human beings. It would also be interesting to know what proportion of SDA unions and conferences are actively opposing Stephen Bohr and his teaching. Is it mainly in our division that people are opposing Stephen Bohr? If so, why is his preaching so dangerous in our particular division? Does not the true gospel, which Stephen Bohr preaches, apply to all peoples in all countries? Are we an exception? As I said at the beginning of the video, this trend that some pastors are not allowed to go to other territories to preach or speak should stop, because we are one church. Even if you don't agree theologically with somebody, it is a matter of dialogue. You dialogue with the person, and not this kind of treatment. We are all brothers and sisters in the Lord. So we should be very, very careful as to how we treat our own pastors, how we treat our own people. So where is Bro Lawrence's band? Tell me. Tell me so that I don't come there. Where is Bro Lawrence's band? I need somebody to tell me. It is not a joke, friends, but it is something serious that we need to address. I have not seen Stephen Bohr preach something that is different from our teaching. I don't know if you have seen any or heard any teachings from Pastor Stephen Bohr that deviates from SDA teachings. Just let me know in the comments. If you have heard Pastor Stephen Bohr preach something different from our teachings, please let me know in the comments and tag me to that particular clip you're talking about. Because you just can't say that Pastor Stephen Bohr said this without showing evidence. Show evidence. Tag me to that clip you're referring to, so I can see for myself that Stephen Bohr was wrong, or Stephen Bohr said this or said that contradicts the Bible. Let us not do this to ourselves. Let us not do this to ourselves. I just want to rest my case here. Friends, you can share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Stephen Bohr being treated this way? Do you think the Swedish Union is being unfair to Stephen Bohr, or they are just right? Let me know in the comment section. This is all I had to share with you. This is your brother Lawrence, and if you'd like to read the whole story, please, I'm going to link it in the description for you, or you can go to Fulcrum 7. The story is right there for you. Thanks for watching. See you again, and may God bless you.
Hi, Brother Lawrence. I'd like to share with you and your viewers an inspired statement from Welfare Ministry, page 146. We greatly need consecrated women who, as messengers of mercy, will visit the mothers and the children in their homes and help them. You will find that by this method, you will have souls as the result of your ministry. Many Seventh-day Adventist women feel called to medical missionary work, but may not know where to begin. At the same time, a growing number of U.S. states are recognizing the value of doula care in improving birth outcomes for mothers and babies by covering doula services through Medicaid programs. A doula provides non-clinical, emotional, physical, and informational support to women and families through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum using a home visitation and birth attendance model. At Born Again Academy, we offer Christian, evidence-based doula training designed to fulfill the training requirements of select state Medicaid programs, so our graduates can get compensated for their work through insurance. If you or someone you know has a burden for mothers, babies, families, and practical gospel ministry, this may be the path God is opening. Visit www.perinatal.academy to learn more.